fashionistas, I hope you're all having a lovely day today. You will excuse my appearance. I'm obviously not wearing makeup right now, and I haven't really been wearing makeup lately for some reason. I took a really long break from YouTube on my Hebrew channel, on my Fiber channel, on my vlogs, and obviously on this channel. And it pretty much, actually it was going really well. I had a bunch of stuff that I can work with, and then I got really sick. And the thing is I get these migraines that make me throw up, or I get migraines that don't even have a headache sometimes and they still make me throw up. I get dizzy and what's the other word? Nauseous. So I got really sick, and it was a few days, and within 24 hours of throwing up, the combination of unbalanced sugar levels and a UTI, which is very common for people in general. It's very common for women, but it's also much more common for diabetics, and a hell of a lot for diabetic women. And within 24 hours, I basically, I was feeling ill for about a few days, but then within 24 hours it got really, really bad. I ended up going to, I don't know what I would call it. It's not an emergency room. It's a place you can go when a doctor. It's like the weekend or it's night, and from there I got directed to go to the emergency room. For the first time since I've been diagnosed with diabetes, I got what's called diabetic ketoacidosis, and that's also referred to as DKA. It's a life-threatening situation, and I've been one of those diabetics that when I got diabetes, I was 17 years old. I come from a educated family, and we learned everything we needed to learn, but for some reason DKA never really kind of floated on our radar. And some people get diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when they actually end up in the emergency with DKA for the very first time, and they also get diagnosed with diabetes. But that's only about 40 to 50% of type 1 diabetics, juvenile diabetes. And for me, I actually discovered my diabetes, really just happened to discover it. So I didn't end up in that situation. It was very scary, because what happened was I was throwing up. Now again, I get migraines, I throw up. I kind of know what it feels like, and I spend a lot of time under the water, the stream of the water in the shower, and then I also kind of doze off. I make myself like a little nest on the bathroom floor, and I usually end up with two of my cats kind of crying outside the bathroom door and want to be let in to various times. And at some point my chest started hurting, and it got really, really bad, and I said, Mom, something is wrong. Mom, something is wrong. By the end of like the 24 hours, I said, we have to go now to see a doctor. Something's really wrong. You need to take me. And when I was trying to get dressed, my chest just hurt so much I could not breathe. By the time we did end up in the emergency room, they did take me in very quickly. I was gone. Like within another 30 minutes, I would have probably lost consciousness. That's what it looks like. So it was a very scary situation. And I spent about 4 days in the hospital after that. I managed to escape the ICU. If you know anything about TK, you know that you end up in the emergency room, you end up in the trauma bay or trauma area or whatever it's called. It's called the shock area in Israel, in Hebrew. Then they take you into the ICU, into the intensive care unit, and then you usually end up in the regular ward, and then you get released home. So the fact that I wasn't in ICU meant that I had a little bit of an easier time in the hospital. But it really depressed me, and it was a real shocker. And I didn't realize how life-threatening the whole situation was. It only started sinking in after I actually got out of the hospital. If you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen the picture. I'm holding up my hand, and you can see that my hand has a what's it called? I don't have words. I really wanted to do this video for a while and kind of be the first video before I start uploading other stuff to explain kind of where I was disappearing. And I couldn't find myself talking about this when somebody else is at home, and I finally am home alone. So that's why this is happening now when I'm without makeup. It was a very life-threatening thing. It made me kind of take a step back. I've been a very, very bad diabetic. I've not been doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I have type 1 diabetes. I have juvenile diabetes since I was 17. If it interests anybody, I can make a video about how I discovered it and how I dealt with it. It's been 2 months, I think, since I was in the hospital, and I'm kind of bending sideways so I can pull out. But I'm actually coming out of a I've been very sick for the past few days. My sugar values have been whacked. Anyways, I'm going to see if I can hold it, because if you know anything about this, these are kind of attached to my body. But this is my new insulin pump. It only took me 12 years. I'm connected to the Animus vibe. A little bit, so I can kind of clarify, medicine here is basically government controlled, and you belong to what's called an HMO. There's 4 HMOs in Israel, and each HMO has their own insulin pumps and sensors that you can get. So I, for instance, could only pick between the I think it's called the EcoCheck or the Animus Vibe. I could not go for what's called the Pod. I know that if you're under a certain age, well, okay, even and I'm 29 years old, knows who the Jonas Brothers is. I mean, they're obviously not in my age group at all. But I read something really interesting lately. I know that I don't remember his name, but the youngest one got diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, and I was actually the first year that they kind of formed as a group. But he didn't come out as soon as he got it. It took him 1.5 years, and then I know that this game, he connected to the to Omnipod, that's what it's called, and they're like little pods. They don't have a tube. That's what's the differences between them and other insulin pumps. And the fans were playing this game where they were looking at pictures and videos from the time for the 1.5 years prior to his coming out of the diabetic closet, and they were looking for the pod, and it was called Spot the Pod. So I thought that was very entertaining. That was the situation. I'm still struggling a lot. I won't say that I'm not. I think that's why I've been having such a hard time getting back on track. I'm finding it very depressing. I medically am not in a really good place. A few days ago I woke up with the value of, well, my glucometer only goes up to 500, and I checked it on my mother's, it goes up to 600, and I had 591. If you know anything about sugar levels, that is terrible. So the past 3 days I have been struggling with trying to figure out, well, taking insulin, checking my ketones, checking my sugar, taking insulin, taking liquids, drinking water, making sure I'm not dehydrated, waking up in the middle of the night being really dehydrated, drink a little bit, test my ketones again, drink a little bit, take more insulin. That's kind of been the past few days for me. And, oh, and I got out of focus for a second. And I decided today, about 4 hours ago, but that's it, my sugar's gonna go down today. I'm sick of it. When your sugar it's not only the fear of going back into the hospital for DKA, it's also you really don't feel well when your sugar's not balanced. So I'm sure that I'm going to make another video, because I've been, you know, they kept asking me in the hospital. I've only been in the hospital basically about 3 times my entire life. When I was born, when I was 17, and they found that I have diabetes, and I was there for a few days, not even in the intensive care unit, whatever, and now recently, at the age of 29, and they asked me how long have I had diabetes, and my answer is, I've been in denial for 12 years already, because that's kind of been it. And I've had good times, and I've had a really good balanced sugar level in certain periods of time and stuff like that. But it's clear that I wasn't dealing with it, and I have my own theories and, you know, theories about that. But yeah, if you are interested, I know that there's actually some people who talk about this, And I've always been outspoken about anything that has to do with my life, except for when it comes to men things and relationships. Like I don't talk about, well, right now I'm not in a relationship, but when I'm in a relationship, I do keep a lot of stuff that has to do with my relationship with my partner. I do keep it to myself. But anything else, I'm kind of outspoken. I speak about the fibromyalgia. Heck, I even spoke about irritable bowel syndrome. I even have a video about that. So I'm obviously fine with it. It's just that diabetes was always something that I kind of, you know, compared to fibromyalgia, which you kind of live day to day to day to day, second to second to second. Diabetes, something had to give, and diabetes, you do have to live it, you do have to accept it, you do have to acknowledge it, to take care of it, you have to monitor it, you have to be aware of it, but it's so easy not to, and that's what happened. So yeah, anyways, this is going to be the first video, and I'm going to upload it, and then I'm going to go back to doing videos about all kinds of stuff. I'm really excited. I have a lot of stuff that I really wanted to upload. I have a lot of reviews and stuff like that, and I have actually a lookbook that I've been working on. So, you know, I worked on it a long time ago, but I finally get around to start editing it. Yeah. Anyways, but I also have a lookbook that I've done a while back when I finally started getting to editing it, and I'm really happy about that. And that's it. So if you feel like following me, feel free to check out down below in the description box. You can find links to my Instagram, my Facebook page, my Twitter, and my Pinterest. Feel free to leave me a message. If any of this interests you, or you suffer from diabetes as well, feel free to connect with me. And yeah, that would be really cool, I guess. And I guess that's it. So have a lovely day, everybody. Bye.